Minister, yesterday is gone, today is here, and tomorrow has yet to come. Last November, I, with the truckers and the farmers, came here to Dublin to show unity on the rising cost of fuel. I asked the government, and I asked every opposition TD to come with me for ye to make one thing that would make a difference to every household, whether you had a car or not. It would have made a difference to every household in this country and every person in this country. Number one, if you had froze the tax on the increase on fuel, you would have had €8 billion to play with. 8 billion on the increase on the fuel costs coming into this country. What would that have meant, Minister? It would have meant a difference into every household of roughly €40 of a difference to every household per week. It would have made a difference. It would have saved on the energy costs and of getting our food to the shops. It would have saved on the cost of producing food. It would have saved on the cost of people going to work. It was a short-term solution to a long-term problem. Yes, we have a problem, but I was giving a solution for people. So yesterday, people have been suffering. Today, people are suffering. And now tomorrow, people are going to be suffering. And I asked for a short-term solution for 6 months on a freeze on the increase on fuel costs, which would have come in and benefited every person in this country, whether you were taking your child to the childminders. No matter what you were doing, it would have helped. What is your answer to this is let's give people €100 off your ESB bill. Well, the first thing I will do, if I get €100 off my ESB bill, I will go and give it to the first person that needs it more than I do. I'm involved in an awful lot of charity work, always have been. And I'm always grateful for what I have and the health that I have, that I'm able to help others. But it sickens me to look around a room to see that I asked people for help and gave you the solution, a short-term solution to a long-term problem, and you didn't listen. I'm going to give you some facts. And these are facts. The state pension is €13,100 per annum. Working full-time in the minimum wage is €21,840 per annum. Recent research from the Central Bank has said that the rising costs in Ireland are spectacular and will drive the cost of living up between €3,000 and €5,000 per annum. Why does the government feel that a €100 electricity voucher is good enough? The national average wage income is €23,675 per annum. In classification terms, this means that a social welfare payment and a state pension are well below the cost of living. If housing costs are added in, then over 1 million people are at risk of poverty. Now, I haven't got third-level education, but I do know 1 million from 5 million means that 20% of the people in Ireland are going to suffer poverty because of your government failing to listen to a person that only got a minimum second-level education. But I can work it out. I can work it out, and everyone else in this country can work it out, and you won't listen. A short-term solution to a long-term problem. I asked for 6 months, and you would have had 8 billion of a saving. But what do? Costs go up. Price in January 2022 for natural gas is €90 per megawatt hour. Price in 2021 was €19 per megawatt hour. That's a €71 increase in 1 year for a megawatt hour. 71 euros. Small businesses are crippled with the cost gone up by 300%. And I know that you'll understand figures, because 300%, and all you come up with is a €100 measly voucher to help people, when I could have put in to every household €40 per week, to every household in this country when they really needed it. And not only that, it would have put down their shopping bills, because it would have been less money to produce it. It gave us something to give back automatically. And the government have it within their control to do it. Your answer to the fuel cost prices was that we're going to reduce the NORA, the National Oil Reserve Agency, by 1%. But it's going to take us 5 months to do that. 5 months to reduce it. That's your answer. What does the government get when price of fuel goes up? What does the government get when the price of everything goes up? They get more tax. They get more VAT. You earn more, you pay more. That's the rule. So while every person in this country is suffering and in poverty, trying to survive, the government is taking more tax. Then you say about rising the wage costs, which would be welcome for everyone. But the problem is, you've all the SMEs in this country are crippled, and the multinationals are able to afford it, but the SMEs will be in bigger trouble. Because you didn't listen. The farmers that are putting the bread and milk on our tables. More legislation, more regulation, and more costs. You seem to think that things arrive on the shelf just like that. We are 1/10 of 1% of the issue with global emissions. That's the same sky over the whole world. We're 1/10 of 1% of global emissions. We're importing from countries that are 30 to 40 to 50% the issue with global emissions. And you're watching everyone in this country suffer. Everyone suffers. Europe gave you the toolbox that you could have done something, that you would reduce taxes like every other European country done. But you wouldn't listen to a person, because do you think I'm not qualified enough to tell you what's going on? The reason why I'm qualified enough is I'm on the ground with the people in Ireland. I understand what it means for people outside of the capital to have a life. People within the capital are suffering. People on the outskirts of Dublin are suffering. But you lack the understanding that you have in the remit of your government, that you could hold a meeting tomorrow morning and agree with your cabinet that you would reduce the tax intake on fuel. Only on the increase of VAT, which is €8 billion you've taken off of every person in this country, whether you're working or not. That's what this meant. I'm still asking, and I'm still looking for the support for you to cap your tax intake and take it back to your 2020 prices, and take your tax, because I know that you have to have tax to run a country. But I also know you don't need to tax the increase. Then at least if fuel prices go up, we'll pay the increase in fuel. But I won't be paying €58 in every €100 in tax. Why not take €45 and put 23, €4 back into the pockets of everyone in €100 worth of fuel, which is in year control? Minister, as I said, I mightn't have third education. I have education of life. And life will tell me that you're going to get an answer when it comes to your turn. Thank you.